You are now tuned in to the Windy City Benders podcast. This is WCBP.
All right, it's another edition of the WCB podcast, part of the Hockey Podcast Network, presented by DraftKings. It's Jarom, it's Tanner. Tanner, what's up, bud?
Nothing much, man. You know, enjoying life.
Enjoying life.
Having a good time. Got the internet back, so we're good.
New house, new internet.
Yeah.
You're just all about new right now. Let's go.
New everything. I'm just like the Hawks, man. All new everything.
I hope you are managing it much better.
Oh, absolutely. We're bringing a new kid in. We're gonna see how he performs on the family and go from there.
Your kid's gonna probably have a chance of seeing good Blackhawks hockey. And as soon as they will be able to remember what they're seeing, like they'll actually have memories of good Blackhawks hockey, and they'll just skip over this dark age.
Hopefully, it's not going to be like a Buffalo style rebuild. He's going to be like, Dad, what's a rebuild, and how come we've been in it for 10 years?
What do you mean the Hawks were good?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a shit show since we last recorded. The Hawks had 2 wins after the trade deadline, so we thought, oh man, things might surprise. They might come in and make a run for the playoffs.
I was saying they're going to end up trading Fleury and win out and then face Minnesota in the playoffs. But then, no.
And now they are, what did we decide? Was it 7 or 8 games in a row?
I think it was 8. So they played great those first 2 games against Anaheim and LA. The one notable thing about that LA game is they said it so often was Delia was playing, and he grew up like going to LA games and Anaheim games or whatever, and he idolizes like Jonathan Quick, and then he got to play against Jonathan Quick at the rink that he would go watch hockey at like growing up, which is pretty cool. And he ended up winning that one in a shootout. It was great. And then I was like, oh man, maybe the Hawks can just roll and win some games. And then they gave up leads like crazy. I think it was like a 4-1 lead they gave up against the Golden Knights, lost in OT.
Yep.
They gave up like a 4-goal lead against the Sabres and lost 6-5.
Yep.
And then they're just like, all right, we're bad.
They get shut out by Florida, who in their defense is an absolute wagon right now. And
Florida's insane.
They are making me look the only pick I made right going into the season with my predictions before. I said Florida was my pick for the Cup. That's the only thing I think I got right out of all my division picks and everything like that. They get destroyed by Tampa. Hagel gets an empty net goal in that one just to kind of like salt on the wound, which, God, I didn't know how much I was going to miss him until I saw him playing against the Hawks. And I just was like, you sent like the Wolverine meme where you're just looking at the picture and it's just Hagel.
Just holding his hand and just like caressing the picture gently. Yeah, it's hard, but 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, and we'll see. Hopefully, maybe we'll get another Brandon Hagel. Who knows? We took the mystery box, so we'll see.
All I know is ever since that trade, Taylor Radish has been pretty great.
He has been, yeah.
On a team that hasn't been very noteworthy though, too. Like. It's nice to see that we got some good value back. Plus, I think Boris Kachuk got his first goal as a Hawk recently, too, against Dallas.
Still don't think that's a real person because that name does not sound like real. It sounds like a generic, like NHL. You're like 5 years, 6 years in the franchise mode, and they're just making it.
It's just one that pops up. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I can see that. I like the way he's been playing, too. Like in the bottom 6, he's banging bodies and going hard. It's really nice to see that these guys like what I was hoping, like they get more ice time and they show up and they're ready to play and make an impact.
Yeah, they're giving the kids a lot more opportunities to play and kind of really, it's just pre-tryout, like show that you can compete in the NHL level. Reichel got called up for his 3rd time this year. He's been holding. I mean, he's not blowing him out of the water like he was in the AHL, but I mean, he's holding his own. Like I still see that he's going to be a great NHL player, and I'm super excited to see what he's going to get when he gets that opportunity to play a full season and consistently play in the NHL.
Yeah, and I think once he gets that first point, then he's going to kind of maybe relax a bit because like the last game that they just had against LA, he had some great chances, and Jonathan Quick was just like, "Nah, kid, not today." It was like, "No, Quick, come on, man."
Yeah, that LA game, that LA game was bad.
Yeah, they
They
didn't
also
have shots for a long time.
The other 4 games that happened in this losing streak, real quick: Arizona in overtime, Seattle shuts out the Hawks 2-0. Dallas wins 6-4. I don't remember that game. I just remember seeing updates. Did the Hawks have a lead at that one and they blew it, or did Dallas always just kind of control that one?
Dallas went up early because I think Jamie Benn scored, but the Hawks did have a lead. They were up 2-1.
Okay.
But yeah. Kachuk scored his first goal as a Hawk that game and tied it 3-3. And then Jason Robertson, that kid, I don't know, there was no hype on Jason Robertson, and he's like a point per game player, and he's 30 plus goal scorer. And he's in his like second year in the league, and he's so good. He's got 119 games played and 114 points.
Cool. Jesus.
Second round pick, 8th overall, 2017. How? Why?
I'm more surprised that he's already played that many games. I feel like
he
just got in the league. Holy shit.
Yeah, well, 65 this year, 50 whatever last year. 54.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
It's 2 seasons. I mean, imagine if he played a full season last year. He's like a point per game player already. It's madness.
He just missed out on Rookie of the Year too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I just love I love it when like guys come out of nowhere and you're like, he's got what now? Like not too long ago we were talking about where he got his like 100th point in the league, and it was like a goal like for a hat trick or some shit like that. It's just like, okay, that's weird. That's crazy.
Was that Hagel?
Wasn't
Hagel like that too? Like his 100th point or 100th goal or something? Or no, it was 100 games he played. Never mind.
Oh,
no,
not 100. Yeah, it might have been 100 games.
I'm missing that. Kirby also scored that game, which has been nice.
Just been bad.
Yeah, it was nice seeing Kirby get on the board too. Like you said in our group chat, like if he can just shoot more like he was shooting and score goals like that, the confidence is going to come back for that kid.
Mm-hmm. I think that the thing is just like there's, I don't know, always so much hate online I see of like, oh, like Doc's not good. And it's just like, oh my God, man. Like I wish everybody, we say it like so fucking often too. Wish everybody would just relax because he's pretty goddamn great.
Here's the thing that a lot of these Hawks fans that throw hate at Doc, you're gonna have to realize that you have to be patient at this point. You're not gonna get instant like success, and these players aren't gonna develop right away. We mentioned this before on the show. He's gonna be on his 3rd head coach next year.
Yeah.
Like it's impossible for a young kid who's already struggling because the injury problems and all that kind of stuff. Like, and he's already gonna have to try to learn different systems and all that. You gotta give him some time to develop. Same story with like a lot of these teams. Like the impatient, like this entire like fan base is so impatient. I'm like from reading stuff online, which is so frustrating because I got to stop doing that.
Yeah.
Because they're also talking about like I saw comments about how Reichel's going to be ruined because Kyle Davison doesn't know what he's doing. Like he's just following Stan Bowman with his development and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, first off, what do you expect? Reichel to come up and be at Connor McDavid numbers instantly?
Right.
It's like
is he supposed to get 2 points in his first game? Like, it's so upsetting. I think honestly, here's the crazy thing: being eliminated from the playoffs already, it's even less stress because it's like, all right, we know we have no chance. Like, get these guys ice time,
100%,
and just let them play. Like, you don't need there's no point. It sucks. We're kind of in a shitty hole where like, hey, like if we finish like 5th from last in the league and don't win a lottery seeding, like we don't have that fucking pick.
Yeah, we're fucked. I mean, it sucks.
We don't get 5th overall. And like, I don't know, do you try and hopefully get a lottery pick, and then next year like you're guaranteed to lose a pick and you just try to do better in that season, I guess? But like if you're doing a full rebuild like this, like we got fucked completely with this fucking trade with just this pick situation.
See,
it's shitty. So I think you said it before. I don't understand the top 2 protection when every other team does top 10. Even fucking Tampa Bay does top 10 protection.
They don't need
on their fucking first round picks. Are you kidding me? They're guaranteed to not fucking be in the bottom 10 in the league.
Yeah.
But they still did a top 10 protection on their picks because they're fucking smart. Like, what kind of shit?
I don't
top two
understand that.
protection. Whatever, man. Like, we're gonna lose a fucking like 5th overall pick this year, and the next year, who fucking knows?
To be fair, though, like I'm not 100% upset about not having that pick because in the long term, I still like having Seth Jones. I still think we're gonna end up coming up.
Could have got him in the offseason.
Exactly. But I still like having Seth Jones, and I think what we end up, as much as I don't like the extension now, I think that's actually gonna end up being cheap compared to what he probably would have got it on the open market. The only way I would be really, I mean, the only way I would be okay with like keeping that pick this year is if we get first overall, so we can take Shane Wright.
Right.
That's the only reason. Like, other than that, like, I don't, as far as I'm concerned, like, there's not really many, like, this year isn't the deep draft, right? It's next year. That's
right. That's the other thing that I'm kind of torn about too. Like, we're losing a pick either way. Next year's supposed to be the really deep draft, you know? And if we had a chance at Seth or Shane Wright or Connor Bedard, I'd rather take Connor Bedard.
Is he next year? He's next year's, right?
Yeah, he's next year. Next year. So that's why I'm kind of torn. Like, I'm like, shit, like, if we win a lottery this year, then we don't have our pick next year, which is also going to be a high fucking pick. So I kind of would rather lose this pick.
Can we decide to keep or give it away? So even if we won the lottery, couldn't we say, hey, you can take it?
Yeah, but I mean,
if you get first overall, if you get first overall, if you get second overall, I think you have to have that conversation. Like, do we actually keep this or not? Because let's be honest, this team, you're probably looking at another top 3 pick next year, unless they somehow do some magic.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm thinking too. It's like, if you get top 2 this year, it's not going to guarantee that we're not again in the top 5 next year. And I think top 5 next year is better than being like second overall. I don't know. We'll see. And then like the thing you look at too is just like, what if you're doing a rebuild? Like, are you going to be patient and wait an extra year, or are you going to just go with what you have this moment? And I'm sure it's probably just going to be like, go with what you have. But
it worries me too, because let's be honest, the top picks recently have been haven't been game changers. Like, we were just talking about it. Well, I mean, we can talk about NHL talk, but Kaapo Kakko scores for the first time today since December 16th. He was a second overall pick. Lafreniere.
Yeah, he was a second overall in front of Kirby Dach.
Yeah. Lafreniere, first overall pick. He hasn't really lived up to the hype that he got going up to his draft year. I mean, it's a thing. It's like, and this is why I get so annoyed when people complain about draft picks. Like, I understand the value in them, but I also think that people overvalue them. They put way more stock in them than they need to be.
The cool thing now that I just realized, Kirby Dach has played 2 fewer games than Kaapo Kakko, but he has 5 more points now. Hey,
who you want to call a bust, huh?
Exactly. Looks like we got ourselves a guy that should have been second.
Who was first that year?
Oh, Jack Hughes. He's fucking insane.
Oh, Jack Hughes is turning Jack Hughes this year.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love it.
That's unfortunate that he's out too. No,
he's also so Trevor Zegras is second in that draft right now in points. He's amazing. And then Jack Hughes is first in that draft. I think those kids are just going to be so awesome to watch growing. Like, it's crazy too that what I just realized is like the last time that Anaheim and like New Jersey faced off against each other was just like Brodeur days again. Like, didn't they play each other for a cup? Like, yeah, can you imagine now the style of hockey that they can transform into with Trevor Zegras at the helm and Anaheim and Jack Hughes at the helm in New Jersey? Like, those were 2 like pretty defensive teams going against each other in the cup, and then those guys are high flying offense now. So like,
the future of hockey is so fucking bright, and I cannot wait. And it's funny too, like Jack Hughes.
Let's go back to Hawks.
No, I know. Real quick, one quick thing about Jack Hughes is like we were talking, like when he signed that contract extension, the 8x8, people were like, "Oh man, that's a hefty price to be paying for Jack Hughes. What has he done?" As soon as he put ink to paper on that contract, the kid is fucking tore it up, and it sucks that he's out the rest of the year. But yeah, he's been fun to watch this year. But anyways, yeah, back to the Hawks. Where were you even at?
We were just talking about fuck it, I don't know, man.
Yeah, we had to rail. We see the future of hockey so much fun that it makes us forget about how shitty our team is.
I think it was just us talking about like our young guys coming up, and it was because we started talking about getting Taylor Radish and having those first round picks, and then losing ours.
Yes, and I don't know first round picks, right?
Boris Katchuk.
Oh yeah, back we were talking about Reichel too. People kind of like complaining about Reichel, how he's being forced up there and all that kind of stuff. And you know what? This is the time to do it too, because this is his first full season on American ice. Like, he was tearing it up in the AHL. You said what? 21 goals, 27 assists in the A.
Oh yeah, I got pulled up still. 21 goals, 28 assists, 49 points. Led Rockford in all categories.
You have less than what?
49 points in 49 games. Yeah, he's got 8 games played right now. He doesn't have a point.
So you have 8 games left. People are also worried about, burning the first year of his contract.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea though. It is.
He plays 2 more games. Burns the year. Yeah.
And here's the thing too. If you really wanted to manipulate, service time, like, and how long you have control of this of players, burn that first year contract. That means his contract's up quicker. He's still in RFA, and you can probably convince him, because you lose a year for like 10, 11 games, give or take. You can probably have more leverage to get a nice bridge deal that's going to end up helping down the line.
He has less service time. You would have less service time to like reference in order to make a new contract.
And I mean, and right now too, it's like, so by the time his contract comes up and his bridge deal comes up, the cap should definitely be going way up. So hopefully when he's tearing it up, we could sign him long term, all that kind of stuff. It makes sense why they're doing what they're doing with him. And people need to pump the brakes. People need to stop reading hawksinsider.com, or whatever the hell that is. Everybody references that website, and it is some of the worst takes I've ever seen. And people live and die by it. And I don't understand why they follow that page.
I mean, they can just die by it. That's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, that you have any really want to talk about, like the game wise or takeaways? Or
no,
like
the Hawks just are playing bad.
Strome
and DeBrincat have 0 points in the last 3 games. That's not going to be helpful, but I think that we were saying too is like the young guys are going to be seeing more ice time. So I don't know if they're going to be like, last game I noticed a few times on the power play, we were seeing a lot more of like Reichel and Doc. And I think it's just because like, there's nothing playing for, or we're just kind of playing out these games. Like, might as well get these younger guys more ice time, see what they can do. Exactly. And having the less pressure on them to like actually win the games instead of just go out there and play hockey. Like, they might be doing a little bit better.
Hi, I'm here with Ken Campbell. He's a 30-year veteran of the hockey journalism world. He's most known for never making hot takes. And certainly, even if he did, there's no chance they'd blow up in his face.
No chance. And this is Dylan Waugh, my co-host. And he's also the brains behind the Hockey Unfiltered empire. He built the set. He has all the technology. He produces every episode. And he actually wrote and recorded on his own the theme music for our podcast. So he's actually quite a valuable member of this team. And if he could just kind of learn a little bit about hockey, he'd actually make himself invaluable.
And the best news of all is that Hockey Unfiltered is joining the Hockey Podcast Network. So if you want to hear from NHL GMs and the top insiders in the game, you won't want to miss this new podcast starring Ken Campbell, the NHL's #1 outsider, coming soon to the Hockey Podcast Network.
Going in the kind of complete opposite direction of kind of feeling good seeing the young guys playing. I feel we are officially back in that, what the hell are we going to do in goalie?
Oh, yeah, dude.
I was so high on Lankinen, and I'm so far off of Lankinen now. I just
cannot hold a lead.
I don't understand how he goes from what he did last season to getting a chance to learn from one of the best goalies to play the game to completely shitting a brick. Like, what happened? Like, how was like, oh, like,
I don't know. I honestly, like, the team not great. Fleury inflated, like, he won a lot of games. Fleury won us a lot of games. It wasn't like the team won a lot of games. Fleury won us a lot of games. So going from Fleury to Lankinen, you're like, Lankinen's brutal, but I don't know, man. The team's just brutal. Like, there's a lot of goals that are being scored too that are just like so fucking unlucky. It's insane. Like the bounces that some like point shots are taking. It was the goal in the last seconds of like the Buffalo game, that 6-5 game, where it was deflected, ricocheted off the backboard, and then off a Lankinen skate as he got back to the net. And it's just like shit like that's been happening to him too.
That one though too, like what was he thinking on that? Because he was
I don't think he knew where the puck was, and he was just getting back to the net.
No, I'm not a goalie, but if you don't know where the puck is, don't you just stay in net and just try to like?
No, he was getting back to the net though.
Oh, was he? I thought he was like going to play the puck.
No. He went down to make the save, but he was a broken stick, so the shot went wide. But I think there was traffic, so he didn't see it. So he was He's pushing off back to the post, and then as he was reaching back to the post, it went off his skate and in the net, and it's fucking ridiculous.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, like they can do another year of Lankinen and Delia, or they can sign somebody that they'll hopefully trade at the deadline that gains value.
So yeah, looking at cap friendly real quick, Delia and Lincoln are both up after this year. I think only one of them's coming back, and I don't think it's Delia. I think Delia is honestly you got to cut your losses with him. Let that kid have a chance, go somewhere else.
Yeah, and I don't even know if he's getting signed anywhere unless he. Oh yeah, I don't know, man.
Then you have like in our system too. You have Arvid Soderblom.
Yeah, I wonder if he like gets a shot next year. They brought him up a few times already.
He just broke the Rockford Ice Hogs record for most wins by a rookie, so that's pretty cool. They also have Cale Morris and Jackson. I don't know how you say this. Staubber. They have those guys. He's not signed, and his contract kicks in next year. But they have those guys, and then you also have, was it Camasso? Camasso. You also have him in the system, but with him, he's only 19 years old. He theoretically probably won't be in play until hopefully, if all things go according to plan, the Davidson plan, the team is turning around the corner and getting ready to compete again. That's when you'll probably see him joining this team, probably more likely in a backup role. Who knows, maybe even a starting role, but he's still probably like 3 years away. You got to remember, goalies develop different. It's not like forwards who can get inserted right into the game. Forwards can get right into the game. Defensemen, I feel, kind of need 1 or 2 years to kind of.
Defensemen need more time for sure.
Yeah, probably like 1 to 2, maybe 3 years at most. Goalies, you typically don't see them until like what? They're 23, 25. 24, 25. Yeah, like you have some weird cases with Carter Hart and Spencer Knight recently, which
Carter Hart's not even that great. He had a great like rookie season, but.
And I was about to say, like you're seeing why you don't rush young goalies, because Spencer Knight's also been struggling too, and he was also supposed to be like the guy for the Florida Panthers going forward when they drafted him. So you got that going in goaltending. Yeah, so I mean, we'll talk about that definitely more once the offseason hits, because it's going to be an offseason of questions. It's going to be questions of what's this team going to look like next year? Is it going to be more of this? Are we going to see some sort of competition? You know, like, is this team going to be competitive at all? Like,
or are they just playing their young guys?
Yeah, so it's going to be
already a fairly young, like average age team. But like you said, like, I guess what like a question mark for me would be like, Sam Lafferty's 27. It's his last year of his contract. Like, I like the way he plays, but like, do you re-sign him, or do you give that roster spot to somebody younger, like one of your prospects that you've drafted?
It depends on what he wants. If he'll sign for under $1 million, bring him back.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean,
I'm excited to see what like first off season under Kyle Davidson's going to look like. I think he did like pretty great so far this year. So maybe he gets lucky somewhere and makes a nice move that like gets a veteran, you know, somebody that is guaranteed like, oh, like I know I'm playing on this team, I'm going to get ice time, but I'm going to be traded at the deadline to like a competitor. Like, yeah, man, cool. We'll get a pick.
Until it's one of those things for me, and I know it's just how I am. You know, everybody's going to talk shit about me saying it, but it's like, he's under Stan Bowman and all this kind of stuff. And it's until I see otherwise, I'm still nervous he's going to have some Stan Bowman tendencies. So the fact that he's laid out this plan for the rebuild, if he sticks with it this offseason, I'll feel a lot better. But if I see him going out making like Marc-Andre Fleury and Seth Jones type trades again.
If Fleury wants to come back though.
Oh no, yeah. But I'm saying if you're going to go after a guy because all of a sudden you're like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's win this year. Let's go. Like, then I'm going to be like, okay, what? Like, so let's go. Like,
slam the brakes, put the shit in reverse and go, all right, we're going back.
Yeah. Like, it's one of those things. Like, I truly think Kyle Davidson's going to be a good job, but I need to see him stay by his word before I can fully get behind him.
Yeah.
And it's just, and I think that's just because Stan has broken me.
Yes. All right. Actual Hawks things. So other than the games and all this rookie things and young prospects and stuff, there was some cool things that happened.
Toews played 1,000.
Played in his 1,000th game. Did the Hawks win? No.
Why would they?
Why not? You know? So that was pretty neat. They had when they did the Toews celebration for his 1,000th game at home. They had how many? What was it? All of his assistant captains come out.
Sharp,
except for like I don't know, not Keith, right?
Keith wasn't there. Hossa was out there. Sharp, Siebes, Hossa, Shaw. He didn't know about. He didn't know. The only one he knew was going to be there was Shawzy because he said Shawzy can't keep a secret. And the minute that he found out that he was going to be there, he texted Toews like, "Yeah, man, I'm going to see you at your celebration."
That's really funny.
But yeah, he said he was shocked to see when he looked around, like they had the giant C. That was the game against the Coyotes. So like I think Andrew Ladd was even there because he was on the Coyotes. Yeah, so Tyler, he was there. Yeah,
because I know he said they also had like everybody that was doing like video tributes, and I think he did one.
Crawford did one.
Crawford did one,
which is weird.
It's a Crawford appearance.
Yeah,
I wonder if they do anything for Crow like. Now that he's been retired, so
it's such a weird situation. The whole Crawford, like, talk about it's just a shitty way to end. I mean, I guess it goes hand in hand with all these Blackhawks, Shaw, Seabrook, all these guys' careers ending. But it's like, man, that's such a weird way to go to.
Mm-hmm. The Hawks lost in overtime, so.
And it was
congratulations,
nice.
Jonathan Toews.
Yeah, and it was nice because like going before that, ever since the trade deadline hit, Toews has been very like vocal about the direction of the team, and he's been like pondering like every time he's like talks to the press, like first like 3 games after the trade deadline, just like it's got such a like he's gone vibe, like he's not coming back.
He's like cryptic.
Yeah, and it's super weird. Like he's just very much like enjoying the moment. Like, and he was like, it was almost like he was trying to like prove to himself too that he can still play. He can still.
Yeah.
And it was just very strange.
I think the difference that like I could see Toews maybe wanting to like go play somewhere else and still compete for a cup, whereas like Kane I think would want to stay in Chicago and try and break records.
Yeah.
Where like Toews doesn't really have anything to be a part of this rebuild for, you know, like he just got 1,000 games. So like, that's a great milestone, but like Kane has like things in grasp to be like a franchise leader in points.
Yeah.
And like all these other things that like, even if the team's in a rebuild, he can still be striving for like all of this, like
He's got Makita in the crosshairs. Like,
right, like all the franchise accolades, because he's already got like so many things in the NHL, and like if you didn't have to move, like why would you? But like with Toews and like not having played all of last season and like being injured and like probably just like really wanting to play like really competitive hockey, I could see him like wanting to be like, hey, can you trade me? Like, I don't know. And I hope he doesn't. Like, I would love to see him retire as a Blackhawk as well. But
it's
like
insane.
with, like you said, with the way that he's talking, it's just kind of like, man, do you want us to open the door for you? Like, you want to be let out? Is that what's going on? Like,
it's just weird too. Like, it just gave, like, when it was like listening to him and reading the stuff he was saying, like, it gives you that weird feeling, because like in other sports, when you hear players talking like that, the next off season, they're done. They're gone. They're traded. And Kane mentioned Kane not to the same extent as Toews, but he still also had that like unsure, like he doesn't know what's going to happen type of, which is hilarious because both of those guys control everything with their no movement clauses. They have
they don't go anywhere.
All the cards. Yeah. All the cards that are on their side. Like there's more, they can say, fuck you, we're staying here as much as they want. So I don't know why you're freaking out.
It was the weirdest thing. Like after the quote from Toews came out, and then there was like the broadcast I was watching on like Hulu or ESPN, and they were like, is this Jonathan Toews' last season with the Blackhawks? It's like, if he wants it to be, like,
Will Arnett asking Kane, you know, is this your last season with the Hawks kind of thing, like on TNT, like, and that was fucking hilarious. But also I'm like, God damn it, now we're just like, as long as they're still in this Hawks uniform, especially with their deal coming up, it's gonna be like every single day. Also, who are they going to trade to? Oh, are they going to resign? Oh, who are they going to trade? Like, it's going to get so old. This narrative is already old. I can't imagine doing this. This is going to suck for the next year.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's also crazy too. It's like, who would have thought like 10 years ago, all my money on the player leaving Chicago was Kane.
Oh, really?
I 100% thought he was going to want to go back to Buffalo or, you know, go somewhere else kind of thing. Now, and I was like, there's no way Toews wants to go. Toews seems like that loyal guy and like he wants to finish what he started type of thing, blah, blah, blah. Now it's like such a complete like 180 for both of them. It's insane.
Well, it's weird too, because like I feel like on the ice, like you see that Kane, there's the Kane line, like it's the Brinkett, Kane, and Strome now, and like it's always been like the Kane line, and then it's kind of like Toews just has been trying to play with like anybody and everybody since Hossa hasn't been a line mate of his anymore. So it's like,
once he lost Hossa and Saad, he just has kind of been in limbo.
Right, and so like Toews gets to play with the Brinkett every day, and like just rack up points.
Kane.
And then Kane. And then Toews is just playing with whoever, just winning faceoffs. And like, I don't know. I could see like how that could be like frustrating. Like, where's the chemistry that you're like, this is Toews' like legit line here. It's like you can always count on Kane and DeBrincat, guaranteed.
If he I would love to have seen what his career would have been like if he had his Kane line, you know, like.
Yeah. Well, if Hossa and Saad were like still around.
Yeah, it sucks. Toews gonna have that. Always, Toews is gonna be one of those what if type of careers, which sucks. But I mean, it's, and we're talking this like he didn't accomplish anything. He's a 3-time Stanley Cup champion, Conn Smythe, Selke, gold medal, like all this. Like this dude has won every world champion. Like,
didn't
he win nationals too with North Dakota?
I don't even know.
But like he's won like everything.
I barely pay attention to who wins the national championship in college hockey. So,
but yeah. So speaking of Hossa, there was just it kind of came out of nowhere too that he was announced that he was signing a 1-day contract so he could retire as a Chicago Blackhawk. And when they were honoring him at the game, they also dropped the news that next season they will be raising number 81 to the rafters.
It's pretty sweet.
Pretty sweet. And I have to admit, I love Hossa. I am very surprised that he's getting it as retired.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm not.
He was the
more
bubble
surprised
guy.
They didn't decide to raise number 4 to the rafters as well when they did Hjalmarsson night. Like that's upsetting.
Let's talk about that though too. Like Hossa was the bubble guy to me, in my opinion. Like he was one of those guys where you can make a case for either way. Yes, he can put. Yes, I can see why he retired. Yes, I can see why he wouldn't retire it.
Yeah.
But now that you retire Hossa, does that open the floodgates for everybody on those teams, the Stanley Cup teams?
No. No. Just no.
Just no. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, who are the three-time Stanley Cup winners with him?
Chalmerson,
Chalmers, which I still think should be up there.
Sharp.
But Sharp, I can see Sharp. Well, see, I can see Sharp now that Hossa is up there. That's so you're right.
And that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying though. Like,
but Keith and Seabrook for sure. Toews, Kane for sure. Hossa, I was always like, if there's a fifth, that's who it is.
Hockey fans, feel the action on the ice like never before with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NHL. Right now, new customers can bet just $1 on any team to win and get $150 in free bets if they do. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, you can still hit the ice for cold, hard cash. New customers can make their first deposit and play free for thousands with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Hockey Contest. Draft your lineup of 8 skaters and a goalie. Rack up points for goals, assists, saves, and more. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code THPN. Bet just $1 on any NHL team to win and get $150 in free bets if they do. That's code THPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NHL. 21 and older. Restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
Yeah, I mean, Sharp, I think that's honestly like Sharp and Hjalmarsson are the ones that are like the only ones, right? Because who else would it be? Exactly.
I don't like. I'm just.
Who the fuck was on Toews' line in the first cup? Hossa,
dude, I can't remember who was on his line like last game.
Yeah, true. I don't remember the lines because like eventually like in 2013 and 15 it was Saad, Hossa, Saad. But,
are you?
Right.
So are you surprised that they're doing it this quickly and not?
No.
No.
No, man, like we need good news. This team sucks.
I always imagined them they were gonna retire them all together and do like a whole season and do like every kind of how they were supposed to do legacy nights for all the players.
Yeah.
For those list of players. But then again, I guess with Toews,
I'm sure it's much easier to get everybody their own night. I think that's like really nice though too, because then you can do all promotional kind of things like for each individual person. And like if your team's not selling out 100% of the fucking stadium anymore, I think you want more promotional nights like that where you're retiring jerseys and shit to get people to come to the games. Oh my god.
Real quick here. So pulling up his stats with Chicago. 8 seasons, 534 games, 186 goals, 229 assists for 415 points. Not bad. Not bad.
Pretty good player.
And that's another thing too. I saw a lot of people talking like, why does Hossa go up there? Like he only played X amount of years. He played more games with the Hawks than he did with any other franchise.
Yep.
Closest was Ottawa, 467.
Which is, I mean, he's just so fucking good though. Like, did we even get his best years? Like, not even. In Atlanta, he had 100 points in 82 games. But we got him from when he was 31 until he was 38, and he was just so fucking rock solid still. God, I remember when we signed him. I was just so excited. And then he plays, and you're just like, this man's insanely good. He's amazing to watch. And the whole time I thought he was just an offensive like dynamo. And lo and behold, he's one of the better like two-way guys ever. It's crazy.
Now here's the question: when is Pittsburgh going to retire number 18 for him? You know, with his whole 10 points in 12 games.
Like, wait, what? No. I mean, he was very good on that team too.
So, all right. So with Hossa, we kind of went through that. So who do you think who's next then in your opinion for the Hawks to retire?
Seabrook.
7. Okay. And do you put up Chelios with him?
Yeah. It'd be kind of weird to fucking not do that.
Right? Even though like Chelios, this is kind of the situation where he played more games with Detroit and then he did.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I don't really like Chelios was good, but they didn't win anything, right? Like,
I mean, they didn't win anything when he was in Chicago. In Chicago with Chelios, he played 600. Oh no, he did play more games with Chicago still. He played more seasons with Detroit.
Yeah, but that was when he was from like age 49 to age 59.
Oh no.
Like,
yeah, you cannot make it. You cannot make an argument. He would deserve
37 to 47. Oh, he played under the Thrashers as well as last season.
664 games for Chicago with 92 goals, 395 points for 487 points in Chicago. Yeah, he goes up into the Raptors, I think. Also, as a franchise leader in penalty minutes. If that doesn't get you in the Raptors, I don't know.
That would be. I think that would be the one.
Yeah,
1,495 minutes. But yeah, you put them both up there. That's pretty cool. But like, also at this point, I mean, just kind of like, oh, we're gonna retire Seabrook's number and Chelios because like he's been gone for long enough. I guess it's weird though. You couldn't really retire his number while Seabrook was wearing it, even though Chelios retired while he was playing. You know, so I guess like that kind of justifies like not having retired it already.
All right, let me ask you something really quick here. I gotta pull this up.
Didn't he won 3 Norrises with the Hawks? No,
right.
one with Montreal, 2 with the Hawks.
Let me ask you, do these numbers, this is in Chicago,
69.
With this with these numbers in Chicago as a member of the Blackhawks deserve to go up to the rafters, okay?
Yeah.
627 games played, 268 goals, 273 assists for 541 points.
No. Is that Sharp?
No.
Who's that?
That's Amante, who's number 10.
So
if Sharp goes up, Sharp had 9 less points than Amante.
Sharp had 3 cups.
Fair.
Big part of 3 cups, though.
But Amante also. Here's my argument, because everybody knows I'm an Amante guy. My argument for Amante is those are really good fucking numbers.
What the fuck?
In dog shit Blackhawk hockey.
Yeah, that's true. Man, if I go to fucking Patrick Sharp on Hockey Reference, it's his fucking photo of him in a Dallas Stars jersey. What the fuck is this?
Wait, who?
It's Sharpie in a Stars jersey. Jesus. Yeah, Sharpie's got 620 points in 939 games. That's career. But 749 games with the Hawks with 532 points. 3 cups.
Okay.
He had Selke votes. Sharpie got Selke votes in 2011, 2012. He came 10th in the Selke.
Yeah.
No shit. What year was it that he had like 10 shorthanded goals or something like that?
Let's see. Shorthanded goals. No, the most he had was in 07-08 was 7.
Okay, yeah. That's the one I'm talking about.
Ironically enough, he had 7 game-winning goals that year too. Okay,
so anyway, retiring numbers, everything like that. Seabrook is next, and then
probably Keith,
because he's going to be the one closest to retiring, and then Toews and Kane.
I think Toews and Kane gets at the same time. I think they wait for.
Yeah, I mean, unless Kane plays until he's like 48. Kaner's got the type of hockey, man, where he's always like, he just controls the puck. He doesn't need like to be like going super fucking fast. He's always in the right place. He doesn't really ever get hit. He kind of has the style of hockey that like his hands just keep working, he can just keep playing. He can be he's still a point per game player. And like until he gets down to like 30-40 points in a season, which I don't know when that would ever happen anytime soon. Like he can probably just keep rolling along, especially if he just stays in Chicago and just all he has to do is feed DeBrincat fucking 60 assists a year, man. Like
but no, Kane isn't any good anymore.
Point per game.
Says every fucking hockey fan that's not in Chicago. But, all right.
Why would you give up that much for Patrick Kane?
I have 2 things left on my Hawks talk list here. It was announced today Reese Johnson was extended for 2 years at $800,000 per year. Good. Nice little pickup.
I mean, we're really good at filling out our bottom 6. And I do like Reese Johnson as a player. I was telling you beforehand, but I think like when he came back from injury, I saw the stat where it was like he had 3 games played and 25 hits. I was just like, Reese, didn't you just like break your fucking collarbone or something? Like, and he's just going out there and just throwing the body. He's like, I don't give a shit. I love players like that though. It's so good. But yeah. So Reese Johnson, 2 years, 800,000 a year.
Not bad. I mean, that might actually, we mentioned Lafferty earlier. That might have just closed the door on Lafferty coming back. Kind of same
Lafferty
role.
has a little bit more like offensive upside though, but that's one of those things where like if we don't sign him, I'm not going to be devastated, and I think he just gets a shot like playing somewhere else that might be a little bit more competitive, and then we get a roster spot for a younger guy to get more ice time.
I mean, all we did was give up his Alex Nylander for him, so it's not like we lost a lot.
Yeah, right. It's basically a first rounder for Sam Lafferty, man. But I mean, one of the good things this year for him too is that I think I don't know what kind of ice time he was getting in Pittsburgh, but I had seen that he hadn't scored a goal previously in the last almost 2 seasons. And then he's got 5 and 37 with us. So it's good that he gotten on the board a little bit, but yeah, I mean, 8 points in 37 games. He's a bottom 6 kind of guy.
So in 10 games with Pittsburgh this year, he had 2 assists. In 37 with the Hawks, he's had 5 goals, 3 assists.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm good either way with him coming back. I wouldn't hate it bringing him back, but also it wouldn't break my heart if he didn't. Right. The last thing I have for Hot Stock is tomorrow marks an end of an era for the second time. Pat Foley will be calling his last game as a Chicago Blackhawk commentator, which is maybe clarification.
Full-time.
Yeah, full time. Not 100% sure what the full deal is with that, but yeah,
so
it's a bummer.
Since he was I think I was reading it, or I don't remember where I saw it, but I think I was reading it. Yeah. This year is like the first year he hasn't done like the full-time commentary, and he said that he's actually really enjoyed the time away. He's gotten to play a lot more golf than he has in the past. He said he's like, how old is he? Like 69. I think that's what it says. Which I didn't realize he was that old.
67.
67. But he's like, like, I can't do the full-time schedule anymore. But he's also mentioned he's not exactly like hanging it up, he's just not going to be like the full-time guy. I'm assuming at some points he might come in and do like some guest like Blackhawks commentary.
It's just
he's not like calling it quits, but he's not doing exactly what he's been doing for the last fucking 39 years.
It's just weird because ever since it was announced that this was his last season, it just feels like it's not on his terms. It feels like the team is pushing him out, and it sucks because I feel he deserves a lot more. Like, he deserves better. Granted, they're doing a great job honoring him and all that, and they're honoring him at the game tonight and all that kind of stuff. But it's just, he's a legend, man. He is one of the best, I think, in the game. And I know he's not like, a lot of people say, oh, well, he's a hometown guy, but it's like, he's really not a homer. He will call out the team when need be. I think there's some of his best moments as a Blackhawks announcer is him talking shit about the Hawks.
Yeah.
Like, it's so funny.
Like last game.
Oh my God. Yeah, last game when he's talking halfway through the game, Blackhawks have 8 shots, only 4 from forwards. Does anybody want to play? Like come on. Like, that's amazing.
He's very good at keeping the homerism to like a minimum too, because he would praise like other players and other teams when they did good things, which is really nice.
He's not Jack Edwards.
On the Blackhawks website, literally in one of the articles that they have, it says, this is where I read it, so it's cool. But I'm going to be 69, Foley says. As much as I still love what I do and love hockey, it can be a grind. I've done fewer games than ever this season. I have enjoyed it. I've taken 3 golf trips, which would have been unthinkable when I did this full time. I just don't have 82 in me anymore. That's a lot of games, and 82 is not for me. Will I never step behind a microphone again? Not saying that, but not full time. So we could still see Pat Foley in the future. It's just we're not going to see him often. It's kind of, Yeah, like I mean, I'm sure there's no like scheduled Pat Foley appearances currently.
Yeah.
But it would be a great surprise if like next season or 2 seasons from now and he just pops in and get a little Foley night action.
It's always a bummer too that we never got to hear him call one of those Stanley Cups live.
Yeah.
It was always like they would do it at like Hawks convention, like he would make the call like over the video and all that kind of stuff. That's a bummer.
Yeah.
And I also love the fact too that they're just ignoring the year and a half and when he was the Wolves announcer when they got rid of him, because everything just says, oh, after 39 years with the Blackhawks. Like, I just love how they just let's forget about that 1 year. Let's forget when Dollar Bill Ward's just lost his mind. We'll toss that up as that never happened.
Sweep it under the rug.
Yeah.
Hawks like to do.
Oh, Tanner.
Wait, so one of the, you know how like, yeah, you know how you were saying that like it feels like he's getting pushed out. I do know that I feel that too though, and it kind of coincides with like the new faces taking over like the organization. I think it's kind of like new faces, new voices, new direction, new everything. Don't really want to associate it with like the recent past of like all of the poorly done shit. So I think that was like another, I mean, just in my eyes, that's just how I kind of see it too, where it's like, yeah.
But here's the thing with that to go against that is they made this announcement before all that came out.
Yeah. Never mind then.
Because that was before the season even started. They came out with that.
Well, maybe they knew it was coming out. They knew what was going to be the deal. I don't know.
They knew this was coming out, so the first plan of action was be like, you know what? The announcer, it's got to go. He's
got to get the voice out of here.
I'm just glad it's not Kobe Cohen taking over, because if that was the case, I would never watch another Hawks game with audio for the rest of my life as long as he's behind there.
Dude, when I'm watching the Hawks games and Colby comes on in like the intermission reports, like he talks for a little bit and then he just kind of stops, and it looks like he just like is up, like he doesn't want to upset anybody, because I think he gets a lot of hate and I think he sees it, and I think it's like upsetting because he just like, I don't know, like I'd want him to like, I would, if he's on, like I would rather have it be enjoyable than be like, I don't want to hear it. But now I'm just like, oh, it's like a sad puppy.
Everything he does though, just it makes, oh God, I just can't even like talk about it because he's so bad.
Hey, it could be better. You can do constructive criticism instead of just being like, fuck that guy.
Constructive criticism. Don't make everything about yourself. Don't talk about your playing days and associate it like, oh man, I would have, if I could have done that, I would have made it past Boston. Like, fucking just no, shut up. You weren't good at hockey. You're not a good hockey announcer. Hockey's just not for you, bud. Get out of there.
Okay, all right.
Who do they name? They announced who the full-time guy was going to be. Who was that?
Fosters, right?
Yeah, that's right. So, and the Olczyk's supposed to be resigning, so he'll still be part of it as well.
Oh, is he? Okay,
yeah.
Great.
So
at least, well, you know what's funny is that his son's been doing some games like nickel check, and at times, unless I'm like really paying attention, I'm like, oh shit, that's Nick.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's not Eddie. Okay.
You could literally just you should put both of them in the booth together, and be like, oh, Eddie talked the entire game a lot. Holy shit!
Right. He's fucking talking to himself. Yeah, it's funny that they have like Nickelcheck and like Kaylee Chelios, and I'm just like, wish my dad played in the NHL. That I could have got a little spot on TV. Like that would be cool. All right.
I think that wraps
anything
up
else for Hawks talk?
Yeah,
okay,
no, I think that wraps it up. Let's go real quick to some NHL talk first. First thing we got to talk about happened the other night with Minnesota Edmonton Oilers. Evander Kane goes after Kaprizov, and Hartman didn't like that. Hartman goes after him. Actually, Minnesota didn't like that. All 5 guys jumped on Minnesota, going after it. The scrum happens. The refs are pulling Evander Kane and Hartman off of each other, and then the camera goes on Hartman, or Evander Kane yelling at Hartman. Goes to Hartman. He's yelling. He just flicks him off. Fucking fantastic.
Fuck you.
Feed me the drama. And then it gets even better, even more drama after the game, where Ryan Hartman goes. It goes to show you we had 5 guys in there and they didn't have one guy in to help him. I don't think any of their guys are going to defend him. and said that any fine he got for his gesture would be well worth it. He got fined $4,500 for that. But really quick, too, Evander Kane had his say in it because, Evander Kane is all right and well with everything he talks about. Oh, there was the other thing I was looking for, but never mind. Evander Kane, it took 5 guys and they couldn't bring me down. It's something. I definitely would have liked to get loose, put it that way. These little guys, they want to act tough. They wait for the linesman to come in. There's your quote, guys. He's doing a good job playing just the bad asshole, like the bad guy. Like, nobody likes me, so I'm just going to go all out.
Oh, fuck it. Who cares?
And then what got even...
Stir up some shit.
Yeah, and then what got even better was after the fine got announced for Hartman, Evander Kane's ex-wife posted on her Instagram story that she gave or Venmoed $200 to Ryan Hartman for his fine for flicking off Evander Kane.
Dude, this is some like
the
level drama shit.
WWE soap opera writers couldn't plan this better.
Oh my god.
Like, oh my god, I wish this was, we talked about it, we wish this was a possible playoff matchup.
Oh yeah. I mean, technically it could be.
It could be, yeah.
In like a very slim chance, it would basically be Edmonton would have to I think they would the most possible slim chance would be Edmonton having to win out, Minnesota basically dropping to the first wild card spot, and then while Edmonton also takes over first in the Pacific, and then they would face off in the first round. But I don't think that's going to happen.
No. But oh my god. And yeah, we were saying though too, we need Minnesota and them to meet in the conference final.
That's true. That's best case scenario.
Right.
For us to get the best picks possible due to our conditionals.
So,
and then what was it? Edmonton needs to make the finals, I think.
Win. Edmonton needs to go to the final.
Yeah.
And as long as Marc-Andre gets 4 wins in the playoffs, we're good.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's straight drama. Also, what's very entertaining hockey is Austin Matthews. Holy fuck. Has he been tearing it up lately? I'm looking back at like our group chat, and this is last Friday, so this is all old news, but he did do this. It says if he scores a goal his next game, he'll have scored 50 goals in his last 50 games. He's up to what, 58 now?
58.
Yeah, 58. This guy, where the fuck did he come from all of a sudden? Holy shit. Like, he's been a good goal scorer his whole career, but it's like just the last like year and a half, he's just on a whole nother level.
I think it's been since like at the start of the season, he only had like 2 goals in 6 games. And then fuck man, like the beginning of March, he's had 3 games without a goal since then.
He's
pretty crazy.
So since the 95-96 season, highest goals per game average. Again, this is like older stats, so I don't know how it pans out to now. But he at one point was tied with Ovechkin with 0.79 goals per game. Like, you're tied with Ovechkin in the same category. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that was last season's Austin Matthews.
Mm-hmm.
This season, Austin Matthews 0.83. So he was doing, the only person that did better was Mario Lemieux in 95-96, who was 0.99. So Mario Lemieux was Gretzky that year, but whatever. Austin Matthews is looking good. Goes back to what we said before the season, how we were just saying Austin Matthews will eventually be the best American player, but he still has to get past the guy wearing number 88 in Chicago.
Yeah.
But it also, I will stand by what I said then. It doesn't matter until he proves he does something in the playoffs.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, you can be the greatest regular season player. It's cool. Score 60 goals. That's awesome. Team doesn't make it out of the first round. Who fucking cares?
Your legacy isn't that great if you can't win a playoff series. Next on my list, really quick, Malkin suspended for 4 games for basically stick to the face of, who was that again? It was Nashville.
Borowiecki.
Yeah. So he gets 4 games for that. Crosby doesn't get any suspension for just left hooking a guy.
Just punching somebody in the face, man.
It's funny because everybody, like any other player would be like, everybody like, oh, what's the suspension? Not many people even question why there wasn't even a conversation about him.
Of course there wasn't.
I love seeing though every time something like that happens. It's like, oh, Tom Wilson's been suspended for 2 games. Like I saw a lot of that tweets after that. More little drama in the NHL. Zegras.
Oh, before you get there, just still on the Penguins, they are going to be in the Winter Classic against the Bruins next year, and at Fenway.
At Fenway Park.
Let's just we're starting to recycle
venues.
Winter Classic locations. Yeah, I'm just surprised that like Colorado. Why haven't they gotten a Winter Classic? They're like the best team in the fucking league.
They're too new.
They're too new.
You think about like all the teams
too new at being good, or
oh no,
what?
I guess Minnesota's been in there a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, I just looked up from like our division, and our division probably has the most teams out of any division. I think the only teams that haven't played in the Winter Classic from our division is Arizona, Winnipeg, and Colorado.
But Winnipeg and Colorado have had outdoor games.
Colorado did have a stadium series.
Yeah. Because they had those stupid like
the A or whatever.
Logo. Yeah.
But I still think like if you're gonna do Winter Classic, like they should have gotten one by now too.
I always kind of felt like the Winter Classic was like for the older teams, like the original 6 and the 67 teams, like the 1967 teams. But then Minnesota goes in there and throws that off. But so it's like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why you wouldn't go there because you can. It's not like it's not cold in Colorado,
right?
In that wintertime. So
yeah, on fucking New Year's Day or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So that's happening. Zegras.
Get a Florida and Tampa Winter Classic.
Literally build it on the beach.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah, like Lake Tahoe, but instead of a golf course.
But it's not going to be on the lake. Oh no!
Zegras is a lacrosse goal machine. He scored another one, which is even more impressive because he originally went between the legs for the shot, got his own rebound, picked it up, had to go around his own teammate to stuff it in for the goal. He tried it again a couple days ago. I think he hit the crossbar.
Yeah, I think that was against Carolina or something.
Yeah, against Carolina. Then after he did it against who was that? Arizona.
Yeah.
It started a shit show. And it's just more drama of old man yells at the clouds type of situation. It's like all
skilling it up out there.
Yeah, skilling it up out there, which he has. Who was that again?
Jay Eagle? Oh, I don't know.
The announcer.
I don't know.
I don't know. Forgot. He's a former player. He's an announcer, Arizona color guy or announcer, whatever. But yeah, it's just, you're going to skill it up out there. You know, you got to take it.
Expect to get punched in the face.
Yeah, he's come back and said it. He's like, I should have said hot dog it up out there. Don't think that's any better. But anyway, listen, you don't like what he's doing. Be better to stop him.
So it was really funny. Megan and I were talking about it, and I was just like, I'm really glad that I didn't play goalie at this time, and I played when I did, because like I don't even know what the fuck I would be doing to like try and stop that. And then I mentioned, I think the only goalie that would consistently stop the lacrosse move would be Dominik Hasek, and he'd be doing it with a fucking kick save. And like, I'm like, I can see that happening so easily. He just dives across, leg up, and then fucking boots it out, man. Like,
yeah,
he's the only goalie I could see that would be like still dominating to this day, even though the game has changed so much.
I could also see him just turn around and just. Well, no, not Dominik Hasek. Osgood or Patrick Waugh would just turn around and just punch the guy in the face with a blocker.
And then they just go, trying to skill it up out here.
Yeah. But it's like, you know what? I'm sorry. Like, I'm getting tired of this whole, it's ruining the game and all this. No, I think this is what they're not breaking any rules.
Right.
Like
high sticking is below the crossbar. They're tucking it below the crossbar.
They're playing everything within the game, and they're just, you know what? You're making it entertaining. Who gives a shit? Let's go. I love the hockey community is please like my game. So then you got this young generation of doing shit that's going to be, okay, you want people to like our game? Check this shit out. No, not like that. You have to do it the old school way.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Let the kid have fun. It's a great hockey, and I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, man.
All right. We've been talking for a little bit. Do you want to do the playoff matchup as of now, or you want to hold that off for next episode?
Let's do it next time. I'm sure the Hawks aren't going to be doing anything too crazy in a week, besides probably lose some fucking games. It's like, damn, man. But I just want to see in the games that they're playing. Like, I don't give a shit if they win. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I just want to see the young guys do well. I want to see Reichel get a point. I want to see maybe I don't know who they're going to be having on defense, but Regula had like a great game, just like firing the puck on that last game. If he gets on the score sheet, or if like Vlasic gets back in there, if he gets on the score sheet, they just get the young guys this ice time, and I just want to see them, perform without like pressure, and just see how they do.
Let them have fun. Let the boys be boys, and just go out there and hey, get a taste, get your cup of coffee in the NHL, and kind of get an idea of what you need to do to take your game to the next level. How to train, this all season and all that, and just come ready to shock the world next year. I don't know. I mean, it's not going to happen, but we can hope.
Remember preseason, we predicted the Hawks would be like top 3 in the division. Wow. I would love to go back to that time.
I am terrified to go back and listen to our episode where we made all our predictions, because I think we fucking sucked this year. You had the Islanders in the cup.
I had the Islanders in the cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Islanders. Hey, man, I don't know what to tell you. They still have a chance at making the playoffs. And it's like a 1% chance, but they still have a chance.
And which way are you talking? Because the last wildcard spot's 92 points, and they're at 77 with 10 games to go.
Yeah, they can get 20 points. So they have a chance at 97 points.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, all right, exactly.
Well, no, I'm like, yeah, if you wanna think that. Sure.
That's why I said they have like a 1% chance to make it. I was saying, like, there's a lot of the teams have a 100% chance to make, or actually the top 6 teams have a 100% chance to make, or I guess not, because they still, I don't know, man. They all need to surpass 97 points in order to lock into the playoffs, or they need the Islanders to fucking lose like one game, basically.
Oh, we'll see.
Playing
set up real quick, I guess. Florida, Toronto, Carolina, and New York Rangers have all clinched in the East. In the West, Colorado has.
Yeah, and they're in, was it 11-point lead over Calgary for first in the conference.
Yeah, and then them and Florida are tied with most points. So the President's Trophy is either going to Colorado or Florida.
Yeah. God, imagine being fucking Vegas trying to pull a fucking Tampa this year with like having a stacked team, but a lot of people on LTIR and fucking not making it.
Oh my God. Speaking of Vegas really quick, somebody shared a picture at a Vegas game, and it was somebody taped on the back of their shirt. It was Lehner is trash and we deserve better. You were 5 years into this league. Calm down. You don't deserve shit. Like, relax. Like, come on. And Lehner deserves better, you pieces of shit.
Gotta go back to our old ways of making it to the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, right. All right, so that was episode 173. What do you want to call it, Tanner?
Oh, fuck. Like, young guys' time to shine. I don't know. No.
Youth movement?
Yeah, we can do that. Or yeah, whatever.
Okay. Episode 173.
About to catch these L's, baby.
Oh, I like that much better. Catch these L's. Let's go. All right, so episode 173. Catch these L's. Make sure to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere that you get your podcasts. Follow us on social media at WCB Podcast. Follow the Hockey Podcast Network, THP. No, social media is Hockey Pod Net. promo code THPN on DraftKings for some different offers. You'll hear that in the middle of this episode. We'll break it down for you. Yeah. Subscribe, rate, comment, share, whatever. We'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, it'll be a little more consistent now that I have internet.
Let's go.
All right. Love you, boys. Bye.